Hope you enjoy everyone. Thanks for watching. This is Solo Ads. Give my latest review on Dragon Ball Super episode 87. This episode, it's a bit fillerish, extended time, Anyway, this episode continuing off with what happened last week. Goku finally met 17. They stopped poachers again. They had that epic fight. I didn't cover this in my last video. I gotta be my favorite moment. It's gotta be when 17 gave Goku that mean uppercut that sent him straight into the sky. That's gotta be one of the best moments ever. And 17 stood up to Goku, even in Super Saiyan Blue form. That's more than impressive. It also depends on what kind of training he's done. I mean, he and both 17 are brother and sister, but also androids. So imagine if that kind of training was applied to 18. If you do that kind of training, applying that to 18, I gotta imagine how powerful would 18 become if she was if she was driven to that thing, and instead of becoming more of a housewife, which is one of the big problems that the DBZ universe has, Dragon Ball Super or whatever the fandom has with it. Anyway, enough about that. They continue off with what happened last week. Goku's trying to do his best to convince 17 to join the Universe 17. So he tries to convince him, telling him that it's important. I mean, he doesn't care. 17. He wants to. If the universe gonna get erased, then let him be erased along with it. It's obvious he doesn't have any what you call the desires like that. He just wants to do his job, whatever, even up to the end, even if that means dying. Which is pretty. When you see his pretty unique perspective. However, Goku, who tries to bribe him, how he tells him about the Super Dragon Balls, says, now 17 is interested. Like in the Super, you have any wish. Remember, the Super Dragon Balls are like the Dragon Balls, but they're a lot more powerful because of the whole God thing, Dragon God and everything. Divine Shenron. And I don't want to get into too many details because I don't know a lot. About the Super Dragon Balls. But there are people who know. Enough about me blabbling. And as the story continues, they get to see aliens. They drop off and they come up and they try taking on the animals. How their ship is so huge, it's probably bigger than Frieza's. It uses tractor beam, just absorbs all animals on there. Everything, all the animals on the planet. Goku, who at 17 tried to chase them. Tried to go after the space they managed to get in using Goku's technique. It's how they beat up. And it's pretty easy. They beat up the guards. The bad guys so easily. How 17 wants to go for the boss. Goku said, not fair. I want to. How these two have a little bit of a wrestling contest, or who gets to go for the boss first. Even go far as play rock paper scissors, saying that's not fair. That's pretty funny to me. I think that's a little funny, a little bit, when you look at the overall story. I mean, they're trying to save, the Minotaurus, the animals, but they find out that these poachers go from planet to planet. They steal all kinds of rare animals, sells them for huge profit. It's just poaching, just on a much bigger level, just galactic or whatever. How they confront the boss? We don't know his name or whatever. They don't say it. They say the Minotaurus' horns are are valuable. They use it kind of herbal medicine or whatever. But apparently they don't have any idea if it's true or not. But people are still willing to pay big money for it. It's just poaching and all that stuff. All kinds of wrong things. Whatever. Goku and 17, they eventually get to beat the boss. 17, this was 17's episode. The fact that he was able to take charge, just go straight for the boss, and the without batting an eye. How the boss has these two bodyguards that use lightsaber type scimitar swords. No, I say that because that lightsabers. Because if I don't mention that, somebody else will. And I'm a Star Wars fan. I watched the movies. I watched cartoons, the Rebels. I know about some of the Legends continuity books or whatever. It's a pretty interesting story when you think about it. Seeing how they have managed to get the guy off guard. How the guy has this device that's threatening to commit suicide. He's going to blow up the whole ship and himself and the animals if they get near him. All that stuff. It's pretty intense when you think about it. Goku. Goku and 17, they want to find a way to stop him without, trying to hurt all the animals. Because this guy is like serious as scumbag. He's a scumbag. He hunts animals for money. Doesn't give a damn about it. He just does whatever he wants. He's a criminal scumbag. I wouldn't mind if this guy get killed or whatever. I wouldn't mind, but that's not my call. Or whatever. When you see the story, when you see it, it's very interesting. I really like it. How Goku like literally using this transmission, and they go to King Kai's planet, and 17 calls it. This is the same place where you took Cell, oh, and he blew up. How the hell does 17 know all this? About Cell blowing up? Probably because Krillin filled in 18 and 18 filled in. Well, and I gotta feel bad for King Kai a little bit. Hell, if it wasn't for Goku doing that trick the first time with Cell, the whole world, probably wouldn't, he probably wouldn't have died and stuff, And we probably could have taken him any place. He probably would have taken him to probably the moon or something, and then he used the Dragon Balls to fix it. I thought I feel bad for King Kai because he's the one that kind of ends up in a little bit of Goku's problems a little bit in some of the worst circumstances. And especially when it comes to the fact that he died because Goku pulled this trick last time. It's also revealed by Dende, because he being the Guardian of being Kami or whatever, he reveals that the guy was lying. How the guy presses the button because 17 threats him to, it's just confetti and all that stuff. The guy's pretty pathetic, He's a scumbag criminal, used to using dirty tricks or whatever. We don't even get to know his name or whatever, He's just a criminal. Sorry about being brief or whatever, but this was a little bit of a filler. But I really enjoyed the episode a lot. This is just a bit of filler. Goku working with 17, trying to convince him, and he does at the end, A spoiler, he convinces him, the guy gets arrested, Jocko shows up, he shows up. We get to see Jocko. We haven't seen him since the Great Saiyaman filler or whatever, the movies, when they after Water Gas, it's pretty intense story when you think about it. And not really, just filler. Seeing Jocko, Goku ask him to join us for the fight, and Jocko talk about being a super elite. Let's face it, Jocko, he may be a good person and whatever, but he's not, on the same level as Goku, 17, or most of the Z fighters. Even though he did help out, especially in when the Frieza Force invaded during Resurrection F, But enough about me, talking. Eventually, Jocko leaves. He takes the criminals with him. And the guy's been wanted for 2 years, poaching planets for rare animals, selling them for profit. We still don't know who the bad guy's name is. Jocko takes him, talking about how he's going to give him a thank you letter, probably going to get promotion. Don't know. He's probably going to forget about writing the letter or whatever. That's just, my take on it. We get to see at the end of the episode, 17, he joins, Goku's team, and they're only like 23 hours away, 23 hours, away from the tournament starting. He convinces Goku that what his wish is for the Super Dragon Balls, he wants to buy a cruiser, a boat, so he and his family could go traveling, and he wants to see the world a little bit, I mean, he can fly and whatever. He can probably see the world where he wants to, but he doesn't want to abandon his responsibility in the island. He just wants to see the world, travel with his wife and 3 kids. I still want to know what his wife. We even get to see that him calling Krillin his brother. Well, technically he's his brother-in-law, but I guess brother is close enough because he married 18 or whatever. But now we got 17. He's on our side. He's gonna kick a whole bunch of ass. I can't wait to see how they use him in the Tournament of Power. Please don't let it be just this one, like what they used, like what they did with Vegito. Just used him for 5 minutes, then poof, he's done for. Please don't let it be like that, because that part really, really sucked during the whole Black Art. And Black Art was pretty good. They were pretty good, but they just ruined the whole thing with Vegito having for 5 minutes, then boom, he's gone. That sucked. And it sucked a lot. A lot of fans hated that. The next episode for the preview looks like it's gonna be on Piccolo training Gohan. I can't wait to see what kind of training Gohan's gonna enjoy with Piccolo. It looks like Piccolo's gonna do that whole thing when he splits his body up into multiple pieces, to multiple persons. I can't wait to see it. One of the biggest hopes that for Gohan is that he gets redeemed, because he didn't do a lot during the movies, but he does. But the fact that he's training with Piccolo means that he's going to get redeemed a little bit. Going to be like the Gohan we used to like, the tough warrior Gohan that he was during Dragon Ball Z. And some fans are hoping that he could probably get Super Saiyan Blue. That's probably not going to happen, but we can dream and we can hope, At least that's in my opinion. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Thank you. This is honestly my latest review on Dragon Ball Super, episode 78. See you guys next time. I'm out. Bye.